1号，快走开！撑住，兽头攻上城墙了！
这次的圣战，我们必将全力以赴。
现身吧！
At the most critical moment in Shrek Academy's history, when life and death hung by a thread, an awe-inspiring presence emerged. It was none other than Mu Lao's soul, returning with divine grace to empower Xian Lao, elevating him to a demigod realm. With this newfound strength, Xian Lao confronted and defeated the formidable beast god, Di Tian. The moment soul beasts began invading, Shrek Academy switched to high alert. Master Xian swiftly mobilized the students and led them to defend the city walls. In the south city of Shrek, the defense officer Shi Xing stood atop the towering walls, eyes scanning the horizon. His heart was heavy. Just 3 years into his position, war had descended upon Shrek City. From the distance, ominous figures began to emerge. The sheer pressure emanating from the approaching army was otherworldly. It was a beast tide from the Xingdou Great Forest. This was no ordinary army. It was the largest, most bloodthirsty horde of soul beasts, backed by top-tier leaders and deep grudges against Shrek Academy. What puzzled Shi Xing was the suddenness. There had been no conflict for a century. But why such a massive assault with no warning? The vanguard of the beast army was less than 10 kilometers from the city. The atmosphere became suffocating. At that tense moment, Elder Xian descended from the sky with other elders from the Sea God Pavilion and elite students from the inner courtyard. Landing atop the southern wall, he surveyed the incoming threat with a grim expression. This wasn't his first encounter with the beast tide. But this time it was worse. Mu Lao was gone, and the body sect remained silent. Shrek, despite its arsenal of soul tools, faced uncertainty. As Master Song questioned the reason for the beast tide, Xian Lao recalled the ominous blood cloud that had appeared days earlier over Xingdou. Perhaps a powerful soul beast or even a fierce beast had been slain by humans. This would certainly have broken the ancient pact between the two races. Mr. Song suspected that Di Tian himself might be leading this assault. As the golden-eyed Black Dragon King and ruler of all soul beasts, his involvement meant serious trouble. Yet, Xian Lao was determined. With unshakable resolve, he proclaimed he would defend Shrek with his last breath. Then he stood tall atop the wall, arms stretched, unleashing a thunderous roar. The energy shook the heavens. Instantly, his body morphed into a beam of yellow light that soared into the sky. As he ascended, the city was bathed in golden brilliance. Shrek Academy's youngest students looked on in awe, witnessing one of the world's greatest warriors reveal his strength. A colossal 100-meter figure appeared within the yellow glow, Xian Lao's martial spirit, the legendary Taotai Divine Bull. With a soul power level of 98, Xian Lao was a gluttonous Donghua who had even battled the likes of Dragon Emperor Donghua Long Xiaoyao. The clash in the sky began. Yellow and black energies collided violently but somehow never affected those below. Xian Lao demanded Di Tian reveal the reason for this assault. Di Tian responded coldly, accusing humanity of driving soul beasts toward extinction by constantly hunting them for soul rings. Xian Lao tried to explain that soul research was advancing and alternatives to soul rings were being developed. But Di Tian scoffed at the idea. He didn't believe humans were capable of replacing soul rings. Then he mentioned the three-eyed golden lion, an existence deeply tied to the fate of the Xingdou Great Forest. Hearing that name, Xian Lao's heart skipped a beat. Very few even knew about the three-eyed golden lion, but he did. He had personally helped Huo Yuhao obtain part of its power. That being was not only the amplifier of the entire forest's strength, but its continued existence was the reason the soul beast population hadn't declined despite frequent hunts. The very presence of the three-eyed golden lion empowered the Xingdou Great Forest and allowed even ferocious beasts to grow stronger. It was guarded by the 5 fierce beasts and revered like royalty. Xian Lao couldn't believe anything had happened to it. But Di Tian's fury was undeniable. He thundered that the beast tide wasn't started lightly. It was provoked by the death of the three-eyed golden lion, a loss so great that even Di Tian felt it as if his own kin had perished. Xian Lao pressed further. How could something happen to such a guarded being? Di Tian explained that she had entered the human world in secret, without even his knowledge. Her death came as a sacrificial act. She had become a human soul ring. That truth shook Xian Lao to the core. It wasn't just that she had died, it was how she had died, willingly offering herself as a soul ring to a human. Xian Lao was in disbelief. He knew there was only one human who had been in contact with her, his student, Huo Yuhao. Di Tian demanded the human responsible be handed over. Otherwise, blood would flow through Shrek streets. but Xian Lao refused. He would never betray a student. With that, war was inevitable. Di Tian ordered his forces to advance. He clashed with Xian Lao, overwhelming him with sheer strength. The sky darkened. Shrek trembled. On the ground, Shi Xing coordinated the defenses. Massive Zhuge divine crossbows were deployed. When the beast tide approached within 3 kilometers, volleys of red-hot energy shells streaked across the sky. 10-year and 100-year soul beasts in the vanguard fell in waves. Morale surged. The first few rounds devastated the soul beast frontlines. But then a serene green light emerged. It was Brigitte, the Emerald Swan, stepping into battle. Her waves of emerald energy healed the injured and absorbed soul ring power to strengthen the beasts. Despite being a healer and a peacekeeper among soul beasts, Brigitte now declared war. She blamed human weapons for threatening their survival. Elder Song soared up to confront her. He questioned her anger and pleaded that both human and soul beast lives had value. Brigitte had once been fragile, saved in her youth by a powerful soul beast. Her healing powers grew to legendary status. In the past 100,000 years, she had broken through multiple bottlenecks, eventually reaching a cultivation of nearly 600,000 years, stronger even than Di Tian. She had previously brokered peace with humans during the last beast tide. But now, her presence atop the soul beast army signaled the full-scale war's intensity. As she blocked the crossbow attacks and healed her comrades, Song Lao realized she was the key support the soul beasts needed. He tried to disable her, transforming into his martial spirit, the blue shadow eagle. With incredible speed, he launched a swift strike at her. But Brigitte remained calm, her emerald light rebounding his attack. Then the 6-winged dark gold tiger intervened. Song Lao quickly countered with his wing attack and sent it flying. But Di Tian unleashed a surprise strike, a purple beam that struck Song Lao and sent him rolling midair. Meanwhile, the battle between Xian Lao and Di Tian reached its climax. Xian Lao, overwhelmed, began to fall. Then, like divine intervention, dragon god Donghua Moon appeared. In his golden dragon form, he caught the falling Xian Lao and confronted Di Tian with colossal power. Though Moon had physically perished, his soul and strength were preserved in the golden tree, granting him the ability to aid Shrek in spirit. His arrival not only saved Xian Lao but triggered a miraculous transformation. The Taotai martial spirit merged with Moon's energy, evolving into a true form of the dragon's son, Tao. Empowered by this, Xian Lao returned to the battlefield reborn. Moon warned Di Tian not to forget that the original 7 Shrek monsters had ascended to godhood. If Di Tian persisted, divine retribution could follow. But Di Tian, still grieving, vowed to destroy Moon. What followed was a cataclysmic battle. Di Tian's signature Wanlonjian technique collided with the divine Taotai form. But Xian Lao, empowered by Mu Lao's soul, Moon's power, and the golden tree, countered and swallowed Di Tian's dragon tail. Eventually, the battle ended with Di Tian being devoured by Xian Lao's golden Taotai head. Golden light blanketed the skies. Victory, at an enormous cost. The golden tree's energy was depleted, and the protective shield over Shrek vanished. Even in defeat, Di Tian had already given the command to attack. The Soul Beast army surged toward the city. But Shi Xing's crossbow defense inflicted massive casualties, while Song Lao kept Brigitte busy, preventing her from boosting the army. At that moment, the Tang Sect arrived. Bei rushed to Yan Shaozhou with shocking news. Huo Yuhao had unknowingly triggered the beast tide. In saving Nan Shui, he had caused the 3-eyed golden lion to sacrifice herself. Even more shocking, Wang Qiuer was the human form of that lion. Shrek's leadership was stunned. Yan Shaozhou, worried for Huo Yuhao's safety, urgently sought his whereabouts. Meanwhile, Bei and others were left hoping their comrade would return soon. And thus, the curtain lifted on the most devastating and emotionally charged war Shrek Academy had ever faced. A conflict born of sorrow, sacrifice, and secrets long hidden now surged forth like a tidal wave that would reshape the fate of soul beasts and humans forever.